I never make a video about gear, but when I have my first mixing breakthrough in over 2 years, I think it's worth a video. You see, when I first started mixing over 15 years ago, breakthroughs happened all the time. Pretty often, I would learn something new and my mixes would jump to a whole new level. It was awesome, and it seemed to happen every few months when something just clicked. But nowadays, it happens much less frequently. But about a year and a half ago, something happened that would change everything for me. I discovered something, and it wouldn't be fair to my viewers if I didn't at least bring it up. Now, first, I want to say that at no point in this video am I going to suggest to you that you go out and spend a ridiculous amount of money. In fact, by the end, it just might be the opposite. For years, I had been mixing with KRK Rokit monitors. These are pretty popular monitors, and they're at the same price point as a bunch of monitors out there. And you guys have seen it all, the Yamahas, the Personas, the Kali monitors. All these monitors are marketed towards home studio engineers, and they usually cost between $300 and $400 for a pair. And you can get pro mixes with all of these. I did for years. But with my YouTube channel, I would constantly get razzed about these monitors, even though I would see them on the desks of pro producers. Well, the time finally came for me to upgrade, so I reached out to a peer that I knew had tried out a lot of different monitors. Well, the monitors he recommended made me fall out of my chair. If I were to purchase this monitoring system, this would be by far the biggest investment in my studio to date. First of all, this company was from Finland and I had never heard of them. And Sweetwater didn't even sell these monitors at the time, which is where I buy most of my gear. Also, these monitors were passive, not active, so I would need a separate amplifier just to power them. Yet another expense to these already expensive monitors. And the speaker cables from the company, which I probably didn't absolutely need. I probably could have found some cheaper cables out on the internet. These cables cost almost as much as some budget monitors that you see out there. But I've been at this for a long time, so I decided to make the investment, and I figured if I didn't like the monitors or thought they weren't worth it, I could just send them back. The monitors I decided to get were the Amphion 118s paired with their Amp 700. Now, there weren't too many reviews or videos on these monitors at the time. I think Dave Pensato had a video out about them and a few other engineers that I'd never heard of. But I decided to risk it all off of one recommendation. Now, I'm not being paid by Amphion or anything like that, but let me explain my experience because, like I said, I had a huge breakthrough and revelation because of these things. When I first got the monitors, I got them set up and I put on some music that I was familiar with, and these things just sounded strange to me. Hell, I'd been mixing only on these KRKs for a very long time, so probably anything would have sounded strange. It was also at this point that during mixing, I stopped relying on my subwoofer, which I made another video about if you want to check that out. But to be honest, my first month and my first few mixes on these monitors were brutal. I felt almost deaf or handicapped or something like that when I was mixing due to how different these monitors sounded. It was really a challenge to get used to them, but I kept pushing through. And for a while, I still kept my KRKs up on the desk back there so that I can switch back and forth between the two different pairs of monitors in reference. After a few months, I was mixing and there came to be a point in time which I realized I hadn't referenced the KRKs in a while, so I decided to switch to them and hear them out. When I hit the button to switch over, I was hit with what sounded like the most god-awful mix of my life. I'll explain this a little bit more, but with this, I took the KRKs off my desk and never looked back because something completely changed in my mixes. The more I worked on these new Amphion monitors, I realized I was using less and less plugins and actually just mixing less overall. In fact, in some mixes, there were some tracks that I was just completely leaving alone and only messing with the volume fader. And there was my revelation. In the past, I was making so many moves based on my old monitors. They were affecting the sound. Now, does this mean that my old mixes were bad? Hell no, but my mixes were now jumping to a whole new level just by doing less work. Something else I noticed is that if my mixes sounded good on my Amphions, they seemed to sound good anywhere I took my mixes. They were just unbelievably transparent. And when listening to music on them, I could hear details in the music that I'd never heard before, which is what you want when you're mixing. Now, again, I'm in no way telling you have to go out and buy expensive equipment. I'm just here to point out that what you're hearing on your monitors while you're mixing might not be what's really going on. Now, over the years, I've done so much to my room to improve the environment, and I've put up treatment. I use SonarWorks for referencing. I have EQ'd this room so many times, but these monitors revealed so much. So with this knowledge, what are you gonna do, right? You might be saying my mixes sound awesome, or my monitors sound great, my KRKs work just fine. Well, I thought everything was just fine as well until I had this experience. Now, of course, not everybody can go out and buy super expensive monitors, and I understand that, but I think that after this experience, the importance of a really flat pair of headphones has been shown here. Simply put, most of these monitors that are marketed towards home studio engineers color or change the sound of your mix. Now, I'm not saying to throw your monitors out or anything like that, but at least have some really flat response headphones to reference on. If you already have some, great. If you need a recommendation, let me know. I was really never much of a headphone mixer, but after this experience, it shows me that I probably should have been. Again, my old monitors served me well over the years and they were fine, but now it feels like I'm on another level. I just wanted to let you guys know that your monitors might not be revealing the truth about your mixes. I hope this helps some of you, and I'm always there to bounce things off of if you have any questions. See you in the next video. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure and go grab a copy of my home studio mix guide with your go-to EQ and compression settings for all your tracks, and also go ahead and register for my online mix training that I hold a couple times a week so that you can learn how to turn your home recorded tracks into a professional product.